The Negro Justice League.
Welcome to the Negro Justice League, a Black Nerd Podcast, episode 84. I'm your host, Cherry.
It's your boy, Jay.
And today we have a special guest who you would know from the past 6 or 7 episodes. From the Gamers Club, we have Oolong Tea.
Hey guys, what's going on?
All right, so this episode we're going to cover Gemini Man, Rasing Dion, and Joker. We're trying to hit Gemini Man around the 10, might be a little earlier than that. Rasing Dion around the 20, and Joker around the 30, if you want to fast forward or skip over things. I don't see any real reason to do too many spoilers with those shows, but we'll see what we do when we get into them. All right, so in our news, Kevin Feige was named Marvel's chief creative officer recently. You'll know him from producing all of the MCU movies. They moved him from producer of the movies all the way up to chief creative officer of Marvel. That's important because that means he's going to be over everything Marvel, including comic books, the shows, the movies, everything. And I think that's important because it looks like they're trying to bring more continuity into their different Marvel offerings. So hopefully we'll see better crossovers, more integration with their products. So we'll look out and give you more news about that. Also, AMC has joined the streaming service Rafe. I don't know what we call this. Everybody has a streaming service now. So now AMC is the first major movie studio to do a streaming service. It is going to be available to their stubs holders, but it looks like you have to have stubs to use their service. But then when you have their service, you're still going to have to rent or buy films from them. So I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work. And it should be coming out in the next couple days, maybe even Tuesday, it looks like. So I'm a stubs holder, so I'll probably download the app, check it out, let you guys know what's going on with that. Last for me, Billy Porter, who we know from Pose, and if you remember him at the Emmys? Emmys with the dress tux that was just gorgeous, and everybody hated on him. He was so beautiful. He is going to
shout out to him winning the Emmy.
Right. You dress like that, you're gonna have to win.
Exactly.
He is now going to be playing the fairy godmother in a millionth Cinderella remake. I know we just got a Cinderella, I think in 2015, we just had a remake with your boy Rob from Game of Thrones and whoever that I never actually finished because it was pretty, but I didn't.
It was like one of the first live Disney remakes before people realized Disney was doing live Disney remakes.
Mm-hmm. And so this one I think is going to be a modern take. It looks like he might be driving a car instead of a carriage. More of a, New York City style. I don't know that we need this, but I'm all for him playing the fairy godmother, so I'll probably watch it just because of him. So we're going to keep an eye on that and see where that goes. And now, Jay, I'm going to kick the news to you.
So for all of those who are interested in the next Batman movie, we've gotten a few casting updates over the last few days. So for those who don't know, Robert Pattinson, who most people realize is from the Twilight series, he will be playing the new Batman in the movie called The Batman. But we also got some new casting updates. One, of course, which was happening probably 3 to 6 months ago, but has been confirmed. Jeffrey Wright will be playing Commissioner Gordon, which is amazing. There was a few people talking about the whole race-changing thing, but Jeffrey Wright's an amazing actor. Commissioner Gordon does not need to be anything other than a great guy, so that's awesome. Bigger news, though, is Zoe Kravitz has been casted as Catwoman in this movie. If you don't know who Zoe Kravitz is, she is the daughter of Lisa Bonet and Lenny Kravitz, and the stepdaughter of Jason Momoa, who plays Aquaman. And then what actually just got released just a day or so ago, Paul Dano is going to be playing the Riddler. Interesting enough, they're not going to be calling him Edward Nygma. They're going to call him Edward Nashton, which is actually his legal name. And from what it looks like, they're going to try to make this Batman movie kind of like the Arkham games, where it's going to be a lot of the Batman villains while he's trying to solve this case. So if we get any more information, check out our Facebook, our social media. But it looks like, if anything, the cast is definitely interesting. Can't wait to see what some of these people start looking like in the costumes. Speaking of interesting casting decisions, Robert Downey Jr., for some reason, is playing Dr. Dolittle, and I honestly don't know what this is about. Uh, I don't like when they first said there was a new Doctor Dolittle movie. I thought it was Eddie Murphy trying to get it. It's Iron Man being Doctor Dolittle. He's doing that weird British accent that he does in Sherlock Holmes. I don't know if he owes someone money or if this is a contractual obligation. There's a trailer on our Facebook and on our social media. Take a look at it. It's not horrible, but it's basically Sherlock Holmes playing Doctor Dolittle. Um, I'm sure one of us will see it at some point.
Mm.
But yeah, check our Facebooks and social medias if you want to at least see the trailer, because it does look somewhat interesting. And Robert Downey Jr. is a good actor, so it could be good.
Well,
We'll see.
and we should say that it's not a comedy. People hear Doctor Dolittle and they think Eddie Murphy, Kyla Pratt, animals running haywire, and that's not what this is.
Yeah,
This
this
is the
movie.
Alice in Wonderland people did this, and I really liked that. Alice in Wonderland was really good. So I mean, I'm not saying I'm gonna see this, but I'm just saying it's not a comedy.
Cherry, we got a podcast. We're gonna see this. Uh, yeah, it's not the comedy that Eddie Murphy, Doctor Dolittle. This has some angst and like he's been a recluse for years after his wife died or something. So it's a little bit dark and grimy in that way, but it's still Doctor Dolittle. So how dark can you get when you're talking to elephants? Speaking of elephants in the room, PS5 has officially been announced by Sony in a new blog post that probably most gamers have seen. They have confirmed it will drop next year during the holiday season. So basically, that's between like end of October till Christmas. They confirmed we're going to get a new DualShock with haptic feedback, the ability to install specific portions of games via SSD. They're obviously going to be having a newer CPU system, which probably goes with them trying to really push on the whole PlayStation VR system with the PS5. They'll have transparent cameras, might even be wireless. So, for those people who are looking to get their new console, PlayStation 5 is about to be coming out, which probably means we may even be hearing something about Xbox sooner than later because you know they like dropping around the same time. But at least PS5 has specifically come out the gate first. Cherry?
That reminds me of something that I wanted to say in the news that I forgot to say in the news. Apple Arcade released their games. Um, they leave something to be desired. I will say that they are very small games. Some of them are really good. Some of them need a whole lot of work, but I do think this is a good start. And I will say that my favorite benefit of these of Apple Arcade in general is that it uses existing equipment. I don't have to buy anything to play Apple Arcade games other than the $5 subscription. So I've been playing on my iPad, my TV, my phone. I can also play on my computer, but I haven't done that yet. And it connects to your controllers, your PlayStation, Xbox controllers that you already have. And I say that to say, I'm wondering how long we're going to keep doing these standalone gaming systems, period, as the devices that we have increase their capacity,
Mm-hmm.
or how inclined are we going to be to continue to drop hundreds of dollars for essentially another computer that does nothing but play games?
Big facts, big facts. I remember when after the PlayStation 4, like PlayStation said they weren't really thinking about releasing another like system. They were just thinking about doing updates because the systems are pretty much their own thing at this point. They were thinking more around streaming. I don't know why that changed exactly, but it's kind of like turning into smartphones. You only really want to drop money now at this point if it's something you absolutely have to have. So we'll see. Uh, Before we go anywhere, though, I just do want to say rest in peace to Elijah Cummings. He passed recently. He was a champion for African American rights. He was the Democratic champion. He was the representative of Baltimore. In the last few months, he's been doing a lot in regards to the Trump administration, but he passed suddenly due to long-stemming health reasons. So, just want to give rest in peace and to the late great Elijah Cummings.
Absolutely. All right. I was gonna that was awkward transition, but I was gonna ask Oolong since he did our gaming episodes his opinion on what we're talking about as far as he's played the Apple Arcade games. I'm not gonna give his opinion, but I'm not sure that it's a good one. How do you feel about transitioning into streaming services as opposed to, having a PlayStation?
I mean, I would think it's two different things. One, PlayStation can do pretty much more than what we can do on our mobile devices. But we see that, our mobile devices are able to, are at least being, as far as what they can do, are starting to increase. So as far as the services, I mean, if you really think about it, always smartphones could have their separate services from, what a PlayStation would have. You're not going to see. Well, no, actually, you would see. You can see like PlayStation Now. Right now, you can do PlayStation Now on PC, but things like Xbox, was it Game Pass or something? I
Yeah.
know that's on phones now. You can do. I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, I mean, I guess with that, smartphones are becoming the new age. I don't know if
Hmm.
they're gonna, like, at some point consoles may become obsolete. The only thing is, every new generation, the tech gets stronger, and then they're obviously gonna have to be upgrading their consoles. But yeah,
All right. All right, so now we're gonna drop in. We need to drop into our actual show. So the first movie that we're gonna cover is Gemini Man. If you are not familiar, that is Will Smith playing. I don't know. He's some type of super soldier. It's not a statement. They made up a government organization for him to be a spy, and he's like the best spy ever. And he's an assassin, and he kills people, and he's the best at his job. And then he retires, and apparently he knows too much sensitive information to retire. So they send a clone of him that they made 25 years ago for this moment after him to kill him. I think that's the gist of it.
That's
pretty
the
much.
gist of it. Yeah.
That wasn't any spoilers. Like all of that was in the trailer.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
How,
So,
how did you feel about the movie?
hmm?
How did you feel about the movie?
uh, I really, really wanted to see this because I've been a Will Smith fan across the span of his career. And so seeing a young Will Smith playing with the old Will Smith was like something I was really excited about and really wanted to see.
Excited, huh?
But I don't know how well it actually played out in reality. So,
Yeah, I think this movie had the huge issue, and it makes sense that it was a movie that was supposed to happen 10 years ago, at least. Like, there was a part of the movie, and I know we going to do spoilers? Because I feel like it's not, you know, part of the movie, the whole
you
situation
didn't give
was,
me a chance to answer.
yeah, I'm just going to say it. Part of the movie was the fact that this clone of his happened right before the Dolly the Lamb clone, which was like 95, 96. So that would have been a huge thing to hear about in 2000. It's 2019, 2020. The whole, oh wow, we're able to clone humans. It's like, no duh. I just think this movie was it's clearly been a movie that was in production hell for probably at least a decade,
Mhm.
and the whatever star power Will Smith still has was able to get it finally completed,
Mhm.
but it kind of shows it's it's not aged well for a movie that's supposed to be based now.
It's because of the CGI. Um, Movies, as you may have noticed, like Avatar, that was like revolutionary as far as using the facial capture and Planet of the Apes. Those type movies work because they're not humans. Like it doesn't matter if an alien looks weird because it's
Mm.
an alien. A gorilla, we don't typically look at chimps all day every day, so we don't. If it looks weird, that's fine too. But a human, humans are uniquely adept at recognizing other humans. Like
Humans.
we've evolved to recognize a human face and to read it quickly. So if you try to CGI it and you mess up anything, your audience,
Hmm.
even if they don't know what's wrong, they know that something's wrong. And
Yeah,
so
the uncanny valley.
we waited until 2019 to do this, because now the CGI is well, they feel like the CGI is ready. I don't feel like the CGI. Well, let me,
I think they could have
I
used something different with this movie.
what do you mean?
Um, like, you know how in the Marvel, was it Captain Marvel,
Hmm.
right? What they use with what's his name? The
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson, the de aging technology. I
Hmm.
think that would work better instead of them trying to plaster young Will Smith's face onto somebody, and then you can see the imperfections of the CGI when he's moving or in certain shade, certain light. You can see it.
That's actually a really good example because I saw Captain Marvel twice and I didn't have any issues with Samuel L. Jackson per se. Um
Twice.
I went with somebody and then I had to go with somebody else, so I ended up seeing it twice. It wasn't that I really loved the movie. It was just like, yeah, I'll go see it with you again. Um so I say that to say, um Will Smith, like I said, I followed his entire career. So I am and most of the audience is very well aware of what he looked at 25. Like I know exactly what Will Smith looked
Exactly.
like at 25. And it's not
You
what
had
y'all
that
showed me.
poster.
It's not what you showed me in the movie. And so it's like you have so much footage of him at that age to go off of. You have to get it right. It looks like they did maybe what Oolong said is took an old Will Smith and tried to bring him back in time rather than just recreating the 25-year-old Will Smith, which is would have worked for me.
That's my idea because 23, 25-year-old Will Smith, that was basically Independence Day Will Smith. You know, Men in Black Will Smith. He had a mustache. He had a little bit of that man weight on him. The Will Smith CGI double that we saw felt like Fresh Prince Will Smith. And it's just too much of a departure. I know they wanted to show how old Will Smith looks now as a 50-year-old man, but Black don't crack that much. And they could have shown a 25, even a 25 to 30-year-old Will Smith to get the same point across without it looking so bad. But I think Oolong was exactly correct. If they would have done what they did for Samuel L. Jackson or what they've done for um, De Niro for the new Irishman movie, where they have his face with prosthetics and they CGI to make him younger, I think that would have worked a lot better to where anytime you just saw the younger version of Will Smith by himself, it was kind of okay. But anytime you had him interacting with other real human beings, especially Will Smith, it was just obvious. You could tell. Even
And
though it was really good CGI, you could still tell.
and they kept doing these close-ups, like these super his face is the only thing on the screen close-up and it's like y'all didn't even do that good a job with the CGI. Why are you that close to his face? Back up. If you back up a little bit, it won't look so bad.
Well, that's one of the reasons why they even did the movie, because they're trying to show this new camera technology that's
Mhm.
based on 4K tech,
It's
which is why they did their action scenes so weird. And on the action scenes, it seemed cool, but again, the CGI, like you're saying, just didn't work for it to be like that all the time.
Yeah, and then not just that, but the voice for me was weird. The voice of the younger Will Smith, like it was really
Hmm.
soft. It's like they softened it
Hmm.
obviously to make it sound young, but it maybe softened it too much that he doesn't sound like it. This goes to the point that it maybe shouldn't have been Will Smith. Yes, he has star power. Yes, he's a great actor. Yes, I love Will Smith. However, I have too much of a frame of reference for what he was at 25 to appreciate
Exactly.
this movie. It should have maybe been somebody that I don't know what they looked like at that age or what they sounded like at that age so that I can't sit there and go, no, this isn't it.
You know who it should have been?
Hmm.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan's not old enough. He's only
I'm, I'm,
32.
I, that's what I'm saying. They should have made Michael B. Jordan the son. Like it
We,
shouldn't. It should.
I know what Michael B. Jordan looked like at 16.
No,
No,
I'm
I
saying
think
they
he's
should have
saying
made.
as young Will Smith made
Oh, you made
him.
it two different people?
Yes, they should have made it a second son. It could have been the same thing without this whole clone hokiness. And I guarantee you, Michael B. Jordan and Will Smith as father and son would have been a much better option, and probably would have been more star power than Will Smith and Will Smith's character version of himself.
So if we say take the clone part out, Michael B. Jordan just has
Hmm.
some child that they in vitroed somewhere.
No,
It's
Will
Michael B.
Smith has some
Jordan. That's
child.
what I meant. And it's Michael
Yeah,
B. Jordan. And then he comes back to kill Will Smith. And then, yeah, I mean, because people would have I'd have shown up for that. And
yeah.
then, and then from
It would
take
have
the
made
CGI
much more
out.
sense.
Yeah. Taking the CGI out, how do you guys enjoy, without spoiling, and we're about to wrap it up really quickly, how did you even enjoy the film itself? Like, was it a good movie?
I thought it was okay. I thought it was an okay movie. The action scenes were pretty good. The only issue I had was the CGI wasn't all that great, like we were talking about before. But other than that, the movie was okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Even though I've been talking bad about the CGI, it wasn't bad. It was okay. I thought it was gonna be horrible. I thought this was gonna be like a this should have been on Netflix type thing. Um, it was
It could
good,
have. It could have.
but it's yeah. Actually, if it was on Netflix, I think people would have been looking at it a lot better. But it's starting to feel like a pattern of Will Smith's movies where he's not doing great. He's just doing like on the surface good.
Okay. I agree with yeah, I kind of agree with both of you. It was a good movie. It was decent. I don't feel like my money or my time was wasted, but I don't feel like it goes down in history as one of the best Will Smith movies ever either. Um, I liked it. I liked it. I'm glad I saw it. But like, yeah, the CGI needs some work. So we're going A through F. Oolong.
I'll give it a B minus.
Okay, Jay.
Yeah, I'll give it a B minus as well. It was serviceable. I enjoyed it and the action was good.
I'll give it a B. I enjoyed it. I did have an issue with the damsel in distress white woman that they added unnecessarily to the storyline, but I'll leave that for the viewers to think about.
Well, kind
I,
of held
I
her
was
own
gonna
in the movie.
say I was gonna say I actually like the fact that she did not turn into a love interest, and there was a part in the movie where like he shut that down.
And I
So
did enjoy that. He was like, when I was young and stupid, yeah, but now that I'm a grown man, absolutely not. Get out the car. I
yeah,
enjoyed that.
that was great.
Oh, do you want me? No. I was like that.
Girl,
It
no.
touched my spirit. But yeah, she didn't. They do what they do in these movies for the audience. But what I say, a B. I liked it. I thought the little twist at the end was touching. Touch my heart. We're gonna talk about what it is, but I think it was cute. Okay, so we're gonna move on to Raising Dion. Okay, so wait, let me
If
say about
somebody
this.
was,
Um, we're probably gonna. I don't know. I don't know how much detail we're gonna discuss this
I
in.
think we should do Joker first.
No, we're
I
doing
really
Raising
do.
Dion first. We're gonna end with Joker. We end on a high note. Uh, um, Oolong, I know, has only seen about half of Raising Dion, and I
Oh,
Up
I'm
think
to
so lucky.
up to
you.
episode 3.
So, do you intend to finish it or no?
I intend to finish it, but
Okay,
I don't. I'm not really worried about spoilers.
you're
Oh, what's
not
your
worried
safe
about
word?
spoiler. Are you sure? Because it's a
No,
big spoiler.
I'm sure.
I was gonna
I'm
let
gonna
you. I was
watch.
gonna let you tap out if you want to tap out for a couple minutes.
No, I can. I'm still gonna watch it regardless. So
So you don't. You sure? I feel like the
I,
spoiler is the only thing good about the show.
It
I'm gonna tap
absolutely
out.
All right.
is.
So give us your opinion. Give us your
I'm
opinion,
gonna.
and then we'll let you tap out for a second.
Okay. So far, um, like the first episode, watching it, I was like, what the hell is this? But
That's literally what you said.
and the I don't know if it has to do with the child actor, not so great, but this lore and the story of trying to figure out what happened to his father and stuff like that, and what's gonna happen with him when people find out about his powers. That's what's keeping me in. Uh, to continue to watch the show. But that's all I got because I have not done with it. So
All right. So you go ahead and tap out. I'll let you know when to come back. Okay.
Tap out.
All
Tap
right.
out.
So I mean, Oolong started. He hinted at it by saying the child actor. Uh, we're gonna start with Dion. The show is called Raising Dion. Everything in the show circles around this little boy and his powers. He is an adorable little boy with some big old cheeks. He's cute as he can be. However, 5 minutes into the show, you see that this is the wrong kid. I
Oh
mean,
my gosh.
is the acting from the child alone is excruciating. I mean, in the first few minutes, you have that scene where he drops the cereal and the cereal's float and he realizes he has powers, and he's like shocked that he has powers. Just his facial expression of just standing there with his mouth hanging open was painful to look at. And he does it a few times throughout the series where he's like, you can see somebody's in the back going, "Hey, look shocked," and his version of looking shocked is, it's like it's the baby can't act, y'all.
Oh my gosh, he can't
The
act
baby
at all.
cannot.
He somebody on production must have had a owed a favor or something to get him this role because
It was
it makes no sense why you would have him be basically your main star for this. He's bad.
yeah, he's
And I
bad.
don't like picking on kids, but I'll pick on this one.
It's the acting ain't for him. Not yet. He might not be old enough or something. I don't know what the hell, but it's baby needs some work.
And it'd be
Um,
one thing if you saw it get better during the season.
Not
It
once
don't.
does it get better. That being said, I continue to watch the show because I identify with it closely. We have we have a mom. We have a cute little curly head mom living in Decatur. Trying to
Little
take
curly hair. Oh my! Is this why you have me watch this? You trying to relive your fantasies because Game of Thrones is
yes,
off? You can't be Cersei, so you trying to raise
I'm
Dion?
trying to tell you, she done had a baby by Michael B. Jordan. Now he left her. I feel that. No, no, I'm kidding. But seriously, no, we have like a there's a lot of it illustrates pretty well the lot of the struggle of a single mother trying to raise a kid. In
True enough.
Atlanta, the schools suck. She's trying to find a good school. She's worried about that. You see that she's constantly calling on people to help her with the kid because it really takes a village. Like to be a mom and be at work to pay the bills, but then you got to be at the school to deal with the kid. Then you got to pick him up. Somebody's got to watch. Like to see that constant hustle and struggle illustrated on television, I felt seen because I thought that that was really cute. And then what, Jay?
Now I feel bad. I can't make fun of the mom being trash.
Oh, she is trash. Because at first this was my feeling the first few episodes, like, oh wow, this is really like how my life goes, like those conversations on the way to school and like trying to get out the door but your kids throwing cereal all over the house and there's Legos in the wall and you like, I might lose my job, can you please get out the house, like that.
Yeah.
that
He wants
that
to go to
stress.
school with no pants on.
Yes. And so like I felt that, and then we got to come up with a science project. Ain't nobody got time for that. Gotta, hey, call somebody, come get this kid from the school, I can't do it. That type of stuff, I totally with it. But then halfway through, he starts to exhibit more powers and stuff, and she becomes a helicopter parent. I think they even use the term. She becomes super protective, super clingy, and yes, we understand that this is absolutely terrifying. Your child has powers, but as a parent, I don't even can't put my finger on exactly what it is, but she becomes extremely annoying, and she was my anchor to the show. Was that I identified with her, I liked her, but then she becomes aggravating.
I feel like part of the show was trying to signify how she wasn't necessarily the most grounded person before, not just Dion, but before she got married to, what was his name? Mike?
Mark.
Mark?
His name is really
Michael B.
Mike. It's Mark.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan's character. So I feel like part of us seeing her as this single mother and the stuff that we saw was supposed to be the fact that she's not really built for this in a certain way. But I also think that the actress who looks surprisingly like Alicia Keys for some reason, just like I don't know. I don't know the script. I don't know the production, but at some point, like you were saying, she just did not gel with me at all.
Yeah. So that being said, we got to get into her relationship with Pat. I had issues from the beginning. As I said, I identify with her. I live her life every day. I had
Who's
issues.
your pet?
I don't have a Pat, and that's what I'm trying to say. Is like there's nobody that I lean on that heavily to deal with my child. Even dating someone or having close friends or anything. There's no person, especially a man, that I
So not you
constantly call to
protocol?
deal with my child. No. And the reason you don't do that is because Pat turned into Pat. Like you
Pat starts patting.
Pat starts patting. You cannot, first of all, this child is first and foremost and only your responsibility. So you should just deal. Like make it happen, get a babysitter, get an after school program, do what you need to do.
Well, let's
But
play
like
devil's advocate. Pat was supposed to be like her husband's best friend, brother, her child's godfather.
okay.
This is supposed to be one of those people you should be able to lean on for your children.
I personally don't. My child has godparents that live in Atlanta. I have friends that if there's an emergency, I can call someone and say, hey, but it's not something I do. She was doing this every day. Like it was constant. She's calling her sister and calling Pat. Pat's coming over bringing dinner. Pat's just chilling at the crib. Pat's at the school. Pat's doing way too much.
Pat
Way
trying to
too
pat.
much. And as you see, Pat, at one point, Pat was not wrong. He was not wrong when he said, hey, you're using me. You know I have feelings for you. You know why I'm doing all this stuff. And yes, he forced himself on, not forced himself on, but he kind of pushed himself into that relationship. But at the same time, she allowed it, which I would
Yeah.
never do. And he, you see why.
Yeah, I never liked Pat. I think part of the reason is because the random white geeky guy that sometimes ends in these shows just I feel like he can be done better. Obviously, because of how the show ends, I think it was actually pretty good, shocking wise. But yeah, man, the whole idea with part of the reason I didn't really like this is because everyone feels like a cliche. Of course, Pat was gonna fall in love with his best friend's wife, and of course he was gonna be strongly feeling for Dion, and she was gonna like I don't even know where the idea of why she would have somewhat feelings for him because they made it seem like she also was kind of like not against it, but made
Yeah,
a
she was
decision.
but she was also very vulnerable in a place where
Yeah,
and he's feeling that void that she's really feeling. So it's hard for her to push him away.
yeah. So I that part I did understand where this is the closest thing you felt to like normal.
Hmm.
But when Pat starts patting,
And
I
she was
did.
leaning into it until she met the dancer because
Hmm.
the dancer was fine. And so when she met him, it was like, oh, Pat, who?
Yeah, all it took was a lunch break.
Man, listen,
Mhm. All it
man,
took was listen. She
listen.
danced for 30 minutes and moved them hips, and she was in the kitchen cooking pork chops,
Yeah, I
had her
mean,
hair
I
loose.
feel it. I get it. I get it, sis. I really do.
She about to bring out the sneakers.
But
She's
I will
wearing the
say that
leggings. Yeah.
Pat is. We're gonna wrap this up quick because this is going over, and this show doesn't deserve that much of our time. Pat was my favorite character, and I say he's my favorite character because he was really the only person that gave the show any character. He was the person that gave me. He was a decent actor. All other actors, including Michael, had scenes where I was like, "What is this? Are y'all for real? Like, is this acting class?" Everybody had scenes where I was like, "This is ridiculous," except for Pat. Pat was a decent actor and did his thing the whole way through, and Patton was what really drew me back into the show. I was getting to a point where I was like, "I'm not gonna finish this. This is whack." But when he switched over and started getting jealous and stuff, I was like, I'm back in. So Pat did it for me.
I,
As a character.
I don't believe you're gonna have me stand up for Michael B. Jordan when you won't. He was clearly the best actor
No.
on this show.
Hell no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
The scene that you like, where he was in his Morehouse shirt in the library, I also liked, and he did a great job, and it was a great scene. However, there's a scene where he's walking by the lake with the white woman, the
Hmm.
disappearing white woman. He's walking with her, and he's having a conversation about how he can't tell his family or something like that. Watch that scene again. It is not good.
Oh no, I'm not watching
It
anything on
is
this show
not.
ever
It
again.
is. It was. I was sitting here going, "Is this Michael B. Jordan? Like, what in the world?" He has a thing where he kind of talks like he's reading, and I think that bothers me all the time. So the only scene when he was trying to get the girl, he felt more natural. He was in his bag, but the other
Oh,
scenes,
that was him.
yeah, that was him. That was him hemming. So for the other scenes, nope. I ain't even gonna stand up for Mike like that today.
My favorite character is Tessa, and the if you don't know who Tessa was, she was the black neighbor lady. I
Mm-hmm.
just appreciated, even though they made her seem like she was going to be the stereotype big black neighbor lady, she had some sense. She rode for Tessa, and I mean not Tessa. She rode for Dion's mom and like kept her in check, and I always appreciate seeing that. Who I hated though was her sister, but that's whew,
Oh yeah, I can't
child.
stand the girl sister. But Tessa, I think Tessa is the stereotype of the big black lady neighbor, but not the white stereotype where she's loud and ignorant and
Uh,
but the black stereotype where it's like, okay, this is somebody I can go to for comfort. This is somebody that's gonna
yeah,
hold me down. This is
yeah,
something's going on. I can go over here and get my hair braided.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
They did
yes.
have the hair braiding scene. Dang, yeah,
Yeah, it was the big black neighbor lady for us, just not what they think the big black
yeah,
lady
yeah.
neighbor lady. You know what I'm saying? Hell, all right. We're gonna rate it A to F.
F.
Are you for real?
Yes, Cherry. I'm not joking. There's been stuff I didn't want to watch because it was boring or whatever, but this was the first time I've watched something I think in a really long time where I hated every moment of it. Every moment. Since I messaged you and I told you within I wasn't even 10 minutes into the first episode and I was like, I hate this little boy. This is all trash, and it never got better for me. And the small stuff at the end
All right, we
that
got
made it slightly worth it.
yeah. Okay, so I can't give it an F. I'm gonna give it a C. Like they came to class, they turned their work in. It just wasn't good work. So it was like Yeah.
Would you watch a season 2?
Yeah. I will start it.
Wow. See, that's why it's an F for me. I don't
Wow.
care.
Wow. Okay, let's move on. Joker. Joker. I only saw this movie because the two of you wanted to see this movie. To be honest, I had no desire to see this,
This
and
is one of the major movies of the summer type air. Like, we have to see it.
I don't care. I'm Jokered out. I'm DC'd out. DC is flailing in the wind, and they're leaning so heavily on this one character. And I grew up on Batman, so I'm familiar with the villains, and I don't know why we've gone this far down the rabbit hole with this one character. And I'm over it. Like I don't dislike the Joker, and I think he should always be included. But whoa, like why are we are so fixated on the Joker, and I don't know what this is.
Even to give him his own movie without the Batman.
Like why are we here? I had a point. Like I didn't want to see this movie, not because I thought it would be bad, because I did not see the purpose. And
Hmm.
having seen it, I still don't see the purpose. And so I did it to service y'all.
Appreciate it. I feel like I agree with everything you just said until I saw the movie. But I mean, and even with me seeing the movie, I still don't think it was needed. I don't see how you do a Joker movie without a Batman. Um, I think DC would do a lot better of kind of trying to do what Marvel did and try to introduce some characters that aren't really well known without it being tied to Batman, because that's what Suicide Squad was. It was still tied to Batman. So I didn't see the purpose of it until I saw it, and I like it. But I think I could have liked it without it even being the Joker.
Nah.
I thought the Joker was um I thought it was okay. I did have I was thinking uh that okay, how exactly what you were saying, I agree with you, Jay. How could you do a Joker without the Joker movie without the Batman? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So and I was wondering, I had my theories if this even is the real Joker that Batman goes up against when he's older. So I don't know.
I feel like this is an Elseworlds type thing. So DC, I think they've kind of realized that maybe trying to have this cinematic universe like Marvel's done isn't really the flow for them. They've kind of messed it up too much. So I think this was their attempt on how can they do movies with their characters um, without it being such a huge spectacle. And a great way of being able to use their characters and their intellectual property is the Elseworld titles. So I don't think at all this is the Joker that's like mainstream Batman, because we know there's a mainstream Batman movie coming out, and the Batman there is going to be what, in his early 30s, late 20s. So no, I don't think this has anything to do. I'm kind of hoping they don't try to do a sequel, but it's done so well. I think DC might, but I'm hoping Joaquin Phoenix. He says he doesn't do sequels. He never will, and I hope he kind of stays with that. But I think I see this as a one-off.
I don't think I think you kind of missed what Oolong was saying. Not that this world is the same world as the regular Batman world. I think what he's saying is, as far as the timeline goes on this story,
Hmm.
if we were to remain in this world, the Joker that we saw, and we do see Batman, is not the same. When Batman grows up and he has a problem with a quote unquote Joker, he doesn't think that it's the same
Oh,
Joker that we just watched. He thinks one of the guys that were inspired by him
by
is
Joker.
would actually be the one to become the one to terrorize Batman. Did I interpret that
Oh,
correctly, Long?
like
Or
this.
Right. That's what I was
Oh,
thinking.
oh,
Because
I
he
was
seemed too
completely off there.
old.
Yeah.
He seemed way too old versus the Bruce Wayne that we saw in the film. Bruce Wayne was a little kid still at
Yeah.
the time. Now his the reasoning of his parents getting killed made sense in this movie, uh, and it was caused by everybody siding with the ideology. I was that word right of the Joker, and
Don't
that's
ask
the
me.
reason why. That's, and that's the reason why his parents got killed. And I could see that, playing out.
I know I'm tired of seeing Thomas and Martha Wayne get shot. If I gotta see them get
Although
shot one
this
more
was the
time.
this was the first time that I was actually surprised on how they do it, because usually it's done the exact same way. This was changed a little bit. I liked it, but if I see Thomas Wayne get shot one more time, I might do something myself, because it's starting to be like a
Yeah,
snuff film. Like, I think they trying to they
It
try.
ain't even sad no more. It's like, oh, they're walking down the
I
alley.
actually,
Here we
I
go.
Oh,
actually agree
Grab
with
the
that because
pearls.
most of the
stop wearing pearls. Maybe you won't die this
the
time.
backstory I know of, they were killed because they someone tried to rob them in the alley. But in this
Hmm.
one, like Thomas Wayne played a role in his death. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
He pissed off
I
the wrong
do.
people of what he had to
Yeah,
say.
Well, we
I
see that a
do
few other
like.
times. We see that in Gotham. We see that in the Telltale Batman series. Like there
I
is,
never played him.
yeah, I know. I played them. They're on our YouTube channel if you'd like to check it out. There are other stories where Thomas
Plug.
Wayne was not a good guy and got killed because of it. So that's not. Again, I didn't see anything new about this death. I'm sick of seeing her pearls hit the ground. I'm sick of seeing him standing there looking all confused because his parents are dead. I'm over it.
You're sick of the 8-year-old boy being confused that his parents are dead?
Yes, because I see it in every single Batman show. It was
That's because
sad the
you're a
first
Batman
time.
fan.
It was sad the first 20 times. Now I'm just like, dang, just do something else.
Well, how you want his parents to die next time?
They don't have to.
I just
Can
They
we,
just don't have to show it.
right? Can we imply that it's already known? We can talk about it, reference it, but do I have to keep looking at it?
The next Batman movie, they actually said they are not going to be doing the his parents' death thing. He says it's everyone knows, so we're not. It'll
Thank
be
you.
referenced, but it won't. They're not going to be showing it.
I'm tired.
Yeah. Kind of like Spider Man. How many times you gonna show Uncle Ben dying in Spider
They did
Man?
do it in the last ones.
Yeah, they didn't. That's what I'm saying. Like they didn't do it in the last one. So I mean, we already know this backstory of Spider Man, so they don't have to
Yeah.
do it.
Anyway,
Let's talk about Joaquin Phoenix. Did y'all like the Joker?
I liked it. It was fine.
I liked it. I actually liked it.
He was
I
acting
did.
his butt off, and I can always appreciate
Yeah.
that. Like there was some acting going on in this
Hmm.
movie. Um, he was okay, but what I will say, his watching him do it, and I did not dislike it. But I said this to Oolong, like watching his performance made me want to see Robin Williams do it. But
Wow.
yeah, yeah,
Young
because
Robin Williams
especially the
being the
hospital
Joker.
scenes with the noses, I was like, this is Patch Adams, and then I was like, wait a minute, Robin Williams would have, knocked us out the water with a standalone film of the Joker, or even not standalone, but I think he would have been the guy.
He would have loved doing something like this,
Because
especially.
he can be a clown. We've seen him be a clown. He has that
Hmm.
silliness. He's fun. He's light, but he's also has another side that is very heavy and very dark and very mature. And
Did you
so,
see that one movie he was in as a serial killer?
no.
Oh, listen, that's why I'm thinking you're absolutely right, because that would have. He knows how to do sinister.
And I've seen his stand-ups, and his stand-ups are not.
Kid friendly.
It's not a Jumanji. Like and so
Ain't no games over here.
and we know now. We know now that he had mental health issues, and so I think that as an actor, I think that he can pull. I think he can do it. I think he can do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I don't. But now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if he should have done it.
If we would have gone too far, too deep
Because
for
I
him.
mean, if you part of this movie is the fact that the Joker became the Joker because of years of abuse. His laugh, which was the scariest thing I think in the movie for me, was that uncontrollable laughter he would have sometimes. Was based on abuse, was based on mental health issues. And you know me, I'm usually saying I don't like it when movies just use mental health for like a prop. But the
Correct.
way they used it with this, it was very realistic to see how he was trying to deal with this as a human, like as an adult, and he doesn't really even understand what's going on. He just knows something in him's broken, and he's trying to do the best he can. So, it was very. That's what I really liked about this Joker, because every other Joker we've seen, you kind of get the hints that, oh, there's something that happened to him, but this one really did show how someone could just break, and how the break could almost be therapeutic in a way.
Yeah, I like that. We started to go down the path of Joker and Batman being brothers, and then so as a fan, you're like, oh, this is new. This might be why they're so closely tied to each other, that they're related. And then you go, nope, this is just more trauma. And it's
Hmm.
like that was interesting for me.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why I really think obviously it having the Joker name brought the money, but I would have really have liked to seen this done without it being Joker. It could have just been called Clown or Jester
Then nobody
or
would have seen
anything.
it.
But
And
I
it
think
has
it
been done. There's another movie. Oh, I can't remember the title off the top of my head. This was made to model
Remember the
very
Titans.
close. Stop it. It's made to model very closely another film that actually has the same storyline and does the same thing, but isn't the Joker. I just can't remember the name off the top of my head. So this has been done. It's just we didn't see it because it wasn't DC.
What did you think about the final Joker? Like when he was finally the Joker?
That brings up an issue. I had an issue that we didn't incorporate more of the other characters into this film, even as Easter eggs. We got Batman in them, yeah, but you could have just as easily incorporated other doctors, other, villains, other people just walking down the street, just interacting. And one of those people I feel like we could have incorporated was Harley Quinn. And I can't
Hmm.
stand Harley Quinn, and I'm not one to advocate for her. However, that final scene where he's being evaluated by a doctor in
Mm-hmm.
Arkham, I'm assuming it's Arkham. That could have been
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Harleen Quinn, and then
That would have been
we
dope.
know going in the future, oh, he's gonna turn her out, whatever, eventually. But I mean, that's what he did. That's what he did, and
Did
so
he turn her out, Jerry?
he did. He did. Get up, read the comic book. That's exactly what he did. Um, but just those little things, or maybe to see like Enigma somewhere, or to see Poison Ivy somewhere, just to see, just the names, just to know that okay,
Or
this is
Hugo
Gotham.
Strange as one of the
That's what I say.
doctors?
Doctor Strange could have been one of the doctors, just at
Hmm.
some, or even just the name, just more of the lore, more of the story. Yes, this is a standalone Joker film, but he still exists in Gotham. So I would like to see more pulling in, more Easter eggs, more backstory.
Yeah.
I remember when we were watching, I was trying to figure out, okay, when they're going to mention what city they're in right now, or I wasn't really sure if this was even really Gotham, because I know they were saying that this movie was not part of the DC universe. It was like it's standalone, so it wouldn't have any ties to the current DC movies that are out right now.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah, and I thought the same thing because recently we've seen a trend, um, especially with like Dark Knight, that series, all of that, where Gotham isn't a specific city. It's like an amalgam of other cities. They film it in like several different cities and bring them together so that it's this metropolitan area that you don't recognize. Like that was filmed in Chicago and New York. They put it all together. But for this film, it was very, very, very New York. Very deeply New York. And so for them not to say Gotham until like 30 minutes into the film, it was a little confusing for me. Like, where are we?
Hmm.
All right, I guess it's time to rate this uh movie.
I gotta ask,
What?
Heath Ledger or Joaquin Phoenix's Joker?
For
Which Joker
me,
do you prefer?
if we're gonna move forward, for me, I'm still gonna go Heath Ledger.
Hmm.
Not because he's a better actor or anything like that, but because that style of Joker for me, I can do more with. As far as
Hmm.
world building, universe, more movies,
Hmm.
he fits more along the lines of the style of Batman movies I want to see. Um,
Gotcha.
Joaquin Phoenix performed equally well, if not better.
Hmm.
But that Joker, I don't feel like I can do as much with as the others.
Oh yeah. I think for me, if I wanted, even Heath Ledger's Joker never seemed scary to me. He seemed chaotic, but never seemed scary. Joaquin Phoenix, though, the Joker that, like in the comic books, everyone is so deathly afraid of, that was the Joker I saw in this. The guy, you don't know if he's laughing because of what. You don't know what his mind's thinking. Uh, but I do agree with
He
you.
is darker.
Yeah, Heath Ledger's Joker is probably better for like a franchise, a movie, but an actual scary Joker, I felt this one was definitely the more darker of the two.
I agree. All right, so we want to grade this A to F. I'll go first since I made y'all go first before. What was the first thing we did? Gemini Man. I gave it a B minus.
Mm-hmm.
I give this a B
I
plus.
think you gave that one a B.
Oh yeah, y'all gave it a B minus. I gave it a B plus. Um, there was some dry spots, and it was just almost a little too artsy fartsy for me to enjoy. Artisan or something. That's the word. I don't know. It was just a little too film
It's not a
festival,
cheese.
huh?
Artesian.
Yeah, no. It's it was a little too film festival for me um to really truly enjoy, and I think that's part of why I went the Heath Ledger direction on that previous question. So I'm going to give it a B plus because it wasn't bad, but I also don't want to see it again. So, Jay, you can go.
Um, I think I'm gonna give it an A on the strength that I do like the artsy fartiness of it,
Of course you are.
and this has no right to be as good as it was for it to be this standalone Joker film. I thought this would have bombed, and it didn't, and it was good. And like I said, this Joker intrigued me. Like I would like to see how the Joker is after the ending of the movie. I'd want to see that Joker. So it can definitely get an A for me. I don't think I'd be watching this much more, but for what it accomplished, it did its job.
I would give it a B uh, for two reasons. One, I did not like when I was hearing some of the stories or things I was seeing online that they said this movie was racist. I did not see anything in here that was racist
I
at
forgot to
all.
bring that up. Yeah.
Right. And two, I was happy that he did not kill the little guy in the apartment. So I was
Hmm.
happy about that. So yeah, I give it a B. I thought it was a very good movie. I thought it was a good movie. I think Joaquin Phoenix did a good job playing the Joker. I think his interpretation of the Joker was more darker than what I've seen. So
Hmm.
I thought it was good.
All right. I know you made a comment along watching a movie that you hope it wasn't one of these movies where it takes the whole movie for him to become the Joker.
Right.
And it kind of did, but it kind of didn't. So how did that work out for you?
No, it was good. I think he became. I think I want to say he became the Joker. What was that? Midway into the movie, maybe a little bit before then. But he was dealing with a whole lot of stuff. So yeah, usually what we see a lot of movies, you know, you don't really see who you're looking for until the very end. But he did Joker like things way before the end of the movie. Like well, we talk about spoilers, but uh, I'm pretty sure he killed that single mother in her apartment that we thought he was in love with or whatever like that. So um, they were just what do you call it? Um,
Figment of his
that
imagination.
yeah, figments of imagination. So there's people he killed uh, in the movie way before he actually put on the mask and changed the color of his hair and actually went full blown Joker. So I thought it was pretty
I do want to say shout out to half the cast of Atlanta that was in this movie.
good. Yeah.
the
Now I want to see either Donald Glover or Lamar play the Joker.
Keith
Lakeith. Oh Jesus.
Lamar. We can have Donald Glover play the Joker and Lakeith play the Riddler.
I'm a,
We need a black Batman movie. Come on now. We need a full black cast Batman.
who would be Black Man?
I think we've had this conversation and I wouldn't have a good answer. Like maybe Idris, is he too old?
I
Depends on
think
where we are
Idris
in
would have to
time.
be. Idris would be an amazing Alfred
He's just
at
Idris would be
his
an
age.
amazing because he's got the Butler accent.
Yeah, because he's British.
The Butler accent.
But no, because Alfred is supposed to be like old British, but can still like whoop butt if he needs to. So Idris could be perfect for that. I think a new Batman, it could be
Chadwick Boseman?
Mm-mm. He ain't even a good Black
hell no.
Panther.
No.
But that's a whole nother episode. Not Mike. I think Michael could be a Dick Grayson
Yeah, he could. Or
Oh,
or
Vecna.
Aquabat.
Hodge, the Hodge.
Aldous Hodge.
It was his name.
Yes.
Yes. Aldrich
Something like
Hodge would be
that.
an amazing Bruce Wayne Batman.
Yeah, I just want some more Underground.
Word.
That was one of the
Stupid
best shows I've
racist,
ever seen.
stupid racist
It
network
was.
buying it, and they
If y'all
canceled that
haven't
show
watched
quick.
Underground, go back and watch that. It's one of the best shows I have ever seen. I love that show. I bought it. I have it on DVD somewhere. Like I love
It was
that
only
show.
like 2 seasons, right? Three
Yeah, I
seasons.
haven't even seen the second season. I saw the first season. I
Oh,
don't know where
the
to.
second season, amazing.
I don't even know where to find it now because like WGN got sold to some racist folks and they canceled it.
Yeah.
So I don't know where to find that show. But anyway, all right. So let's wrap it on up. We are, if you're into Dungeons and Dragons, or if you're not into Dungeons and Dragons but you think you might want to be, we have
Are you in
started a D&D team game party.
campaign?
Part
It's called a
It's a party. I'm
campaign.
talking about the people,
campaign,
not the
yeah,
campaign. We
campaign,
started a
yeah,
party.
party.
We're playing on Twitch now. That's actually going to start tonight in my time, but that'll probably be yesterday in your time. We're gonna be broadcasting live our campaigns, so you will be able to see the map, you will be able to hear the characters, and if you catch on early, you will catch the whole story. If you miss some of the story, it's going to get migrated over to YouTube eventually. Um, but check us out. Go on our Twitch, twitch.tv/blacknerdcast, CAST as in podcast. And we're going to do that. And we're going to probably do a little more gaming eventually, maybe one day, sometime soon. And so make sure you're there for that. It's going to be freaking hilarious. Subscribe to us in iTunes, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, Pocket Cast, Podbean, whatever. Wherever you're listening to this right now, there's probably a subscribe button. So make sure you hit that and make sure you're subscribing. Follow us on Twitter at Black Nerdcast, Black Nerd CAST. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Negro Justice League. Make sure you go to NegroJusticeLeague.com. We always got good merch and stuff up there and old podcast episodes that are searchable. So if you're looking for, hey, did they talk about something that we talked about at some point? Harry Potter, something, I don't know. Type it in and it'll pop up and it'll tell you what episode you need to listen to. And make sure you rate and review us everywhere you listen to us. iTunes in particular is important. For next week's agenda, we're going to be talking about Zombieland 2. That'll be out for Halloween. And we're going to talk about a Netflix movie called Eli that is also scary. So if you're into scary movies, you're into horror, whatever, make sure you join us for that. We might add in something else scary depending on what our time looks like, but we're definitely covering those two. So that is all for this episode. I am Cherry, and this was the Negro Justice League.